Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to S&G here in Rancho Cordova. Wanted to go over something this morning that came up just the other day, and it all kind of plays into being careful not to make any assumptions on behalf of the customer when you first meet them. And I'm going to go through a scenario that I experienced down in the Elk Grove store just the other day, and not to pick on our friend SmartStrand, but I'm going to pick on our friend SmartStrand only because it was the case. I want to talk you through this here. We were down in the store. A woman comes into the shop who had been into the store before and had purchased from us before. She had a project brewing. Her home was 17 years old. She knew she wanted to replace the carpeting, but she was reluctant to do so because the carpeting she had was an upgrade, and she was so disappointed with the way it performed she thought it would be wasting her money to replace carpet again. So she started saving her money, and she was saving her money to do hardwood, tile, or something of the like. Well, when she came into the store, she was rather excited, and she told me, she says, "I've been holding off and saving my money to do something else until I realized SmartStrand is out, and now I can have carpeting." And I just stood there and I looked at her, and I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah, absolutely." She says, "I couldn't see wasting any more money replacing the carpet if it was just going to do the same thing. But now that SmartStrand is here, I can do my house." I mean, it was almost like an advertisement. So I was a little bit leery. So I said, "Okay, great." I said, "Well, we've got SmartStrand." And I started walking her to the back of the store. And as we got to the back where the rack was, I kind of walked up to her and I said, "Well, here's the SmartStrand. You know, this is the pricing. But before I go any further," I said, "let me ask you a question." I said, "You mentioned it twice." I said, "I'm dying to know, what is it about the SmartStrand that intrigues you so? Or what is it that gives you license to say, now I can buy carpeting?" And she looked at me like I had two heads. And she says, "Well," she says, "of the 14 stores that I've been to and the 5 trade shows, everybody tells me SmartStrand's the way to go." And I kind of looked at her and I cocked my head. I said, "Why?" And she says, "Well, it's the most stain-resistant carpet there is. It's the most durable carpet they've made in decades. I've seen the video with the Rhino going to the bathroom on it. They hosed it off. They put it in a home." She says, "I've just got to have that." I said, "Wow." I said, "That's incredible." I said, "Let me tell you a few things about the SmartStrand that you may not have heard yet." She says, "Great." I said, "Well, for starters, it is new, it is wonderful, and there's a lot of bells and whistles to it." I said, "But the thing that has me thrown is the product has been out for about 4 years now, and they've not increased the line at all in that time. That is to say, the 25 products available now have been those same 25 for the last 4 years. So we're kind of in a wait-and-see mode." I said, "But let me address a few things for you." I said, "Based on what you just said, you love the stain-resistant features, you love the durability features, and you like that green aspect because you mentioned the corn sugar thing." She says, "Yeah, absolutely." And as I'm saying this, her 12-year-old daughter is starting to stroke one of the panels and say, "Ooh, that's so soft." So I kind of let that go. And I tell the woman, I said, "Would you be receptive to another idea?" And she says, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "This product here, part corn sugar, part PTT, you know, laboratory-made polymer, I'm not really sure what it is." I said, "Have you ever heard of PET?" And she says, "Yes, and that's different." And I said, "Yes, it is." I pointed to the Lifetime Series racks behind her, and I said, "We've got some products here in the store under the heading of Lifetime Series." I said, "They're 100% PET, a product that we've been selling for about 15 years now, not 4. I said, "Extraordinarily stain-resistant." I said, "But even more so now because the Lifetime Series has an additional stain treatment." I said, "As far as durability goes, they've got twist levels that compare to anything in the SmartStrand rack." And I said, "And the other thing, if you notice about the SmartStrand," and I went right to the one her daughter was stroking, I said, "it's kind of a lightweight product. There's not a lot of meat there." I said, "You mentioned that hallway that just gets all the traffic." I said, "You know, in 26 years with S&G, this is not the kind of thing physically I recommend." And I said, "Let me show you a couple of ideas." And we went right over to, I believe, Life Starter, which was a knockoff for the one she was looking at. First thing she noticed, she says, "Is that the price?" And I said, "Yeah, it's on sale at $3.49 a square foot." $1.50 a foot less than the SmartStrand product. And the light bulb just went on. And you know, she was all of a sudden receptive to hearing about it. Had I gone right to the SmartStrand and bought in with her statement, I want to buy SmartStrand, I would have also fallen right into a trap that I'm now competing with the other 14 stores that she said she had gone to. And we know she didn't go to 14, but she probably went to 5 or 6. Everybody and their brother has this rack. It's nothing but a price war at that point, and we don't want to get involved in that. By getting her over to consider the Lifetime Series, it gave me an opportunity to talk about what the Lifetime Series is. I got an opportunity to tell her how long I've been with the store, how long we've been selling this particular product, why we firmly believe in it. I made the comment to her, I said, you know, I'm banking on the fact you're going to come back 10 years later and do the rest of your house. I want you to come in having put the Lifetime Series in, as opposed to me having to be held accountable for something that I'm not really sure is how it's going to perform. Because that's really where we are. This is still kind of an experimental product. Now, not to beat on the SmartStrand too much, this scenario could be played into any product we show. A customer could walk in and say, I want to look at your Pergo. I want to look at your Luzon hardwood floors. I want to look at, you know, your Mannington sheet vinyl. And the same holds true. If you assume that that Mannington vinyl or that Pergo laminate is what they're looking for, we're just kind of starting out on level with all the other stores. You need to do that initial investigation, you know, do the meet and greet, and then ask them, you know, what is it about the Pergo that intrigues you so? You know, what is it about the Mannington sheet vinyl that intrigues you so? They're going to tell you some things. They might tell you some things that are patentedly not true. They may make some lavish claim that says, well, the Pergo laminate, I understand you can wet mop it, unlike any other laminate floor. That's something that you can just counter right away and say, wow, you know what, that's not really true. You know, Pergo's a wonderful product, but you can't wet mop any laminate floors, and let me tell you why. What you've just done is you've taken an opportunity to put yourself in a position of authority and expertise, and hopefully that's going to put you on a step higher than the guy that she just came from, who may have had an agenda and was trying to push that Pergo on her. So again, it's all about that Q&A, that probing, asking the questions. What is it you like about this? What don't you like about that? What do you expect of this product? What do you want out of this product? And then you can step back and say, well, I'll tell you what, you know, I've been with S&G 10 years, 12 years, 25 years, or I've only been here for about a year, but the rest of the group here has got a cumulative 50 years with the store, and what they've told me is, well, again, you go with that personal history, take ownership of the products, and you know, start creating that bond with the shopper. So that was just something I wanted to share with everybody. I would say it worked. It was like it was a tactic, but it was successful because now we're going out to measure the home, and she is looking at 2 or 3 of the different Lifetime products. She's no longer looking at the SmartStrand, and she, you know, she's a little suspect, and I think in this particular case she should be. So anyhow, that's about all I have for today. I hope it's not too much to throw at you. But you know, try that out with other products. Try it out with your co-workers. You know, one be the shopper, the other one be the salesperson. Come in and make that statement. And, you know, and challenge them. Say, you know, hey, do you carry the you know, the Luzon hardwoods or the Anderson hardwoods? You know, I want to look at the Anderson hardwood floors. We obviously don't have them. You're going to have to ask them, what is it about the Anderson that, you know, really strikes your fancy, and go from there. So that's about all I have, guys. Good hunting and good day.